Welcome back, everyone, to the Show of Requirement, a Harry Potter podcast streaming everywhere you can listen or watch. We're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Google
MySpace.
Podcasts. We're on so many things.
Not on MySpace yet.
We're not on MySpace. We're the number 12 Harry Potter podcast according to what are they again? Sorry, I guess I should have remembered what they are. Feed spot. Yeah. So welcome back. It's been a while. I'm David, and I'm joined by my co-hosts Spencer and Abby. Guys, how are y'all? How's your night going?
I'm tired.
Yeah,
I am also a little
here.
tired. Abby and I are expecting parents, listeners.
Congrats!
Which is fun.
Wait, have you announced that even on this podcast? You have not even announced that.
Well, no, I haven't announced it on this podcast. No.
Yeah.
But by the time this episode drops, I will have announced it publicly. So
yeah.
Nice.
So congrats! Yay! Spencer's gonna be a daddy. Abby's a mommy, and David.
I was gonna say, we are expecting in very different forms.
Fair.
That's yeah.
So
yeah. Obviously, Spencer,
more figurative.
Your expecting is a little bit more difficult than Abby's. I will agree. Like you have so much more that you have to do. So yeah, I get that.
I'm a bit of a caretaker. I don't know what Cody's exactly been like. But
the theme of my song when Alicia is pregnant is I thank God every day I'm not a birth giver. That's going to be my stance every single day. But yeah, so big news for you guys. Obviously a lot of news happening. A game just came out, Hogwarts Legacy. At the time of this recording,
never heard of it.
Yeah. At the time of this
only
recording,
one of us is able to play.
Yeah, it's been me. Guys, it's so much fun. Like I cannot contain how happy this game makes me. We talked about in our video games episode about the newest like Lego Star Wars game, how it's so massive, so open world, like you can just explore and explore and explore. It's exactly what this game is. You can spend hours just exploring and searching for things, and that's what I've been doing. And I love the main story. I love what it's telling. I love the combat system and how all of that works, learning different spells, everything along those lines. So if you're asking me, you don't have to buy it right now. Just if you get the money saved up, is this worth saving money for? My answer is absolutely yes. It is a game that will not disappoint you. It's so much fun. You can do so much, and you can make so many different decisions in this game that can alter the course of your character. The one person who I was surprised that was playing the game alongside of us that we all know is Chris Joins. He bought the game, also pre-ordered it. So we both played it on Monday. And we've been texting each other the entire time about our progress and how we're doing. We're going away to like a retreat here the next coming weekend. And we've already discussed about bringing our laptops and our Xboxes and playing it in the rooms where we're at, because we just want to play and for it to be so much fun. But yeah.
You know who else we know is playing a lot of Hogwarts Legacy? Tim Duncan.
Really?
Wow.
I did not know he got the game.
You guys haven't heard about it yet because the Phantom Done Right episode hasn't dropped yet, but he was just raving about it.
Wow.
Nice.
I was gonna say, but you name dropped Chris Joins. Also, happy birthday, Tim and Chris.
Yeah, happy birthday. I'm very sorry. Terrible host.
Yeah, so I'm sorry for that, guys. But I was gonna say we're planning on doing some more initial thoughts next week from David, but we could. I said maybe we'll see if Tim has some time in his schedule to.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because he is, like everyone else that's playing this game, is giddy about it.
Yeah,
everyone who's not giddy about it is not playing it.
Well,
tea aside.
Tea, yeah. Again, so much
I would
tea.
say, or we just can't get it yet.
or Abby.
Yeah,
but she's not giddy about it. She's not angry about it.
She's anxious to play it. Is really what.
I just think it's dumb that they set up different release dates for different systems.
That
but
is
you know what?
That is
They're
one
trying
thing.
to get people to get the PS5.
Yeah,
Can't
It's not
say...
working. If anything, it's just making me upset.
I just spent $3.99 on a Switch. Do you think I got $5.99 lying around for a PS5? I don't.
I have a child coming.
Yeah.
I cannot.
So Warner Brothers, this is your invitation to just go ahead and send Abby a free PS5 so we can promote this game properly. So come on, Warner Brothers.
And not in a few months.
Yeah, not in a few months. Immediately, like overnight it is what I'm saying. If you care about your fans, overnight it. Thank you.
That was the sly thing, listeners. If you're wondering when we're going to do a full-on, like, extended review of Hogwarts Legacy, it's after Abby gets the game, and I'm planning
like June,
and I'm saving up so I can buy it, and hopefully I'll save it up before it's available for Abby, because that's not why I'm not. I already have a PS5, so
yeah. Anyway, welcome to the episode, everybody. We are doing our next Hogwarts House Cup entry episode. And today we're focusing on Gryffindor. As the resident Gryffindor, it is my job, my responsibility to go through some amazing details about the house, important, notable people who came from Gryffindor, our house achievements, what we've done, and also even to discuss what may not be so great about Gryffindor, some things that we just need to take note for historical purposes. And Professors Abby and Spencer will be awarding me points very seriously. Again, this is a competition.
This is a sorts. Very serious. We're definitely counting every point.
Yeah. And so any initial thoughts, even before I jump in here, before I get started?
There's going to be so much, even not just from David, but from all three of us, of some bias, just because there's so many main characters from this house. The story is told from this house perspective. That's it. I'm just throwing that out there right at the beginning.
It's going to be hard not to love Gryffindor.
Yes, it is. And when I was preparing for this episode, I did my absolute best to not be so over the top, to shower way too much love and not acknowledge, the shortcomings of the Gryffindor house. So we'll see if I do it justice. Obviously, Spencer and Abby, if I miss something, they'll be here to kind of give their 2 cents about, especially from their perspective of how they view the Gryffindor house.
Sorry, I don't know what cents are. I have nuts, though.
Sorry, sickles. I'm very sorry. Please do not take points away from me. I apologize profusely.
Already starting off in the negatives.
Oh man, I'm sweating. It's hot in here. Anyway, we're going to go ahead, jump in, get started, and we're going to start with the foundation of Gryffindor, how it all came to be. So obviously our founder is Godric Gryffindor. He was born in 993 at Godric's Hollow. And of course, he is one of the founders for Hogwarts. He was actually a very close friend. I mean, obviously all the founders were friends, but he was a close friend of Salazar Slytherin for many years. Leading into them building the school and everything. But as the topic of allowing Muggle-borns into Hogwarts, that's when their friendship started to deteriorate. Because obviously, as we know, Salazar Slytherin was not for allowing Muggle-borns into the school, while it's said that Godric Gryffindor was the most supportive of Muggle-borns attending the school. And so really not a lot of details about him. We do know that he left behind one of his heirlooms, which is the sword of Gryffindor that Harry uses, that Neville uses. It's a high valued treasure for even the story of Harry Potter throughout the story. And so love that, and love his character being in there. His portrait's obviously in the Gryffindor common room as well, so we get to kind of see it a little bit. When I searched the picture for it, long hair, it looks like a lion. Like, I think it fits very, very perfectly. Of
I thought you were going to say you saw it in Hogwarts Legacy.
I did see it in Hogwarts Legacy. I also saw something else in Hogwarts Legacy. I don't know if I'm going to say it on here or wait until after the recording. It'll probably be after the recording because it's huge. It's big.
Also, Godric Gryffindor is the only... Well, Godric's Hollow isn't an all-wizarding town like Hogsmeade, but it is he is the only Hogwarts founder that has a town/city in his name.
Yeah. Cool
so
fact.
Significant.
That is it. That is extremely significant. And so what makes up the values of Gryffindor? What are the house values? And so Godric Gryffindor was very specific on who he wanted in his house. And so obviously courage, chivalry, nerve, and determination were huge contributing factors to being a Gryffindor. And when we talk about their colors, which is scarlet and gold, really those colors represent kind of two different schools of thought. So obviously you have fire. Fire is a huge thing when we talk about Gryffindor, but also a lion, with the scarlet of representing the mane and the gold representing the coat of a lion. And so within the house values, there is a saying for Gryffindor, and I might butcher this. I tried practicing it. I don't know if I'm going to get this right. If I get this wrong, feel free to take points away from me. But it's forti emanato estoito, which is stay strong of heart. So again, really valuing, in spite of all the different circumstances that might hit you in life, remember to keep your heart. The heart's the most important thing. One of my favorite values in being a Gryffindor. But yeah, that is the section kind of talking through the foundations of our house and also our values. 3.6
points for the Latin, and then a nice 10 points for Godric, because he's a dope house founder.
Yeah.
As far as they go, he probably is the best. Like Helga's much cooler, but we haven't actually seen much of her. Because when I think of Helga, I immediately go to her like late ancestor from Half-Blood Prince that was just a mess that Tom Riddle visited. So I think they all are probably great, but Godric's just kind of the one we know more about. He's a cool cat.
Yeah, I should mention. I didn't know which section I would do it, but I guess I'll do it here. We also have Sir Nearly Headless Nick as our house ghost, who I would say, in my opinion, is the best house ghost in the Harry Potter timeline, at least at that time. I mean, obviously they span to hundreds of years. Loved meeting him in Hogwarts Legacy. It was so great, and that story was so much fun.
I disagree. Not giving any points for that.
I'll still give 5 points for Nearly Headless Nick, because he is a fun character.
Love him.
Yeah. He's fun.
Remember,
his last name is Porpington.
Yeah, Porpington. Maybe I would have gotten more points if I would have said his actual name. So
no, yeah, probably. But 5 points. I'll agree on the 5 points. Go back to our Hufflepuff episode if you want to hear about who the best.
No,
best I don't have a strong opinion on the house ghost.
I vehemently disagree with the.
I had an opinion, and then I read about the Friar's actual history, and I just like his history is much cooler than how he appears any other time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So continue.
So now we're gonna go through notable Gryffindors. Man, what a list! Many. What a list we have, and I couldn't put them all. So if there's someone who's not on this list that you feel like should be on this list, go ahead and say their names. But the first person on my list is Professor Dumbledore. He was a prefect for Gryffindor. He was head boy, eventually becoming headmaster of Hogwarts for 40 years. Goes down as the greatest wizard of all time, in my opinion. Just hands down, the GOAT. The GWOAT. Yes, you're right. The GWOAT. So really, really a strong way to start off this list. Then I hit you with the right, and now I hit you with the left because it's Professor McGonagall falling right after that. She was a prefect, a head girl, head of house while Harry was there, and ultimately, after being the deputy headmistress, became the headmistress after the Battle of Hogwarts. Another really, really strong name, in my opinion, on this list. And then this one, I love it because you get to see another side of Gryffindor, of really caring for other people. Who better person to talk about than Rubeus Hagrid, who was a student there, was expelled from Hogwarts because of a guy whose name we do not speak of. But he eventually became the keeper of keys and grounds at Hogwarts before adding on top of that position became the care of magical creatures professor, one who showed Harry around, exposed him to the wizarding world for the very, very first time, was a father figure for him and also for the fantastic trio that was there. So he is the third notable Gryffindor on my list, followed by 4, 5, 6, and 7, which is the Marauders. James Potter, Sirius Black, Remus Lupin, and Peter Pettigrew.
Mention the last one? Yeah.
I will mention it. I will mention it. He'll come back around here pretty soon. I had to mention him because technically he was a Gryffindor, and he is notable, even if it is for infamous reasons. And obviously Lily Evans, who became Lily Potter, she's also is mentioned with these guys. And then we have the legendary trio: Harry, Ron, and Hermione, the big three that we get to follow throughout the entirety of the 7 books of the Harry Potter book series. But a person that is extremely important along with him that we got to see developed, especially in the latter years, you had to go with Neville Longbottom. He destroyed the final Horcrux during the Battle of Hogwarts, just really grew into his own, became a fan favorite character, I think, for everybody. You have the Weasley clan as well. I can't go without mentioning them, all of them: Bill, Charlie, Molly, Arthur, Jenny, Fred, and George. Percy's kind of, I'll mention him because he is a Weasley, and he eventually comes back around. But
he's a Gryffindor too.
Yeah, they have a really strong history and legacy, if you catch my drift, in the Gryffindor house. But finally, on my list, the reason why you couldn't look at the outline ahead of time, my final notable Gryffindor is David Gonzalez II. Okay, he is a legendary wizard who came to Hogwarts in his 5th year in 1890.
Close his laptop.
It was he is a fantastic wizard. I'm currently in the middle of his story right now, and I just can't wait to see what he does. But that is my final notable Gryffindor. But I will say this:
minus 5 points because he's third tier canon. And interchangeable.
I can't
with
help
any
it, guys.
human.
I can't help it. He's so legendary. I will say this though. This is what I'm most excited about in terms of playing this game. And I guess the only spoiler warnings that I will give for this part. So if you don't want, fast forward through it. We'll put a link in the description of where you can fast forward to. And this opens up a little bit of a conversation. When
David
you
might be lying about the link in the description. Just
maybe. We'll see.
We forget often.
Yeah, we do. But in Hogwarts Legacy, when you're starting, there's a newspaper clipping that happens at the beginning. And the date is September 1st, 1890. So that's where your character starts. Guess what year Albus Dumbledore starts at Hogwarts?
1890?
1892. So there is
I knew we were close to it.
There is a possibility that maybe towards the end of the game, you get an opportunity to meet Albus. If I get to meet Albus, I'm
11-year-old Albus Dumbledore.
I'm gonna freak. I'm gonna freak. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be awesome. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Or maybe they're saving that for a sequel, because isn't it just 1 year of Hogwarts, or is it multiple years?
I have no idea.
I feel like it's
unsure.
just the one. But
if it's a one, I'm gonna be very sad that we won't get to meet him. But like, because we're so close. We're so close. I hope not. I hope that we get to finish out the rest of the years at Hogwarts, and even if we meet him in one cutscene, like that'll be cake for me, and I'll eat plenty. But yeah, you could take 5 points from me. I thought it was funny. So now you guys are welcome to look at the outline if you so choose to. At this time,
we probably need to award points for all the characters that he listed.
Where to even begin?
I know.
Well, 10
even
points
before
for
that,
Dumbledore. 10 points for McGonagall, but he also gets -5 points for not name dropping Harry Potter himself.
I did.
No, you said the trio.
I said the trio: Harry, Ron, and Hermione.
I just feel like you didn't emphasize the main character, the subtitle of the name of our podcast. Where is it? No, it's over here. Harry Potter podcast. David might sometimes say this is a Albus Dumbledore podcast, but it's still a Harry Potter podcast. So this is Snape. I'm channeling my inner Professor Snape here.
Goodness gracious.
He's still 15 points up. The Weasleys has got to be like 20 points, right?
Oh,
There's
yeah.
so many of them.
Yeah.
Ginny,
well, and the Marauders, I feel like, would be like another 15.
Yeah, because they don't get 20 they get 20 anyway because of Lily, though. I always feel like Lily's kind of not necessarily, because we haven't actually gotten this, but Lily's kind of the fourth Marauder, like the fifth Marauder, I guess, in my kind of head canon, thematically. She does take that place.
Hagrid, what do you want to do?
Well, because Robbie Coltrane died. 1,000,000 points. No, 50 points. He's on hot in my mind. And this is a very serious competition. There's just so many characters, though.
Yeah.
Most of the characters we're introduced to are Gryffindors.
He also got he gets 1 extra point for not trying to claim another character that's not like sorted.
Which one?
Like we did. Like all of your characters are officially like we know they were in Gryffindor. Absolute certainty characters.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone you didn't mention.
Kingsley
was a Ravenclaw.
Yeah, I didn't feel like, I mean, obviously we know Dean Thomas, Seamus Finnegan,
Katie Brown, Lavender
Brown, Katie Bell, Angelina Johnson.
I see what I did.
I could have gone.
Finnegan and Dean Thomas are great.
They're great. I could have gone
not
Hogwarts
necessarily
mystery. I could have gone the Hogwarts mystery route and been like Ben Copper if I wanted to, but I was like, only Abby would know who that is, so I didn't mention it. But yeah, there's so many, because like you guys said,
Oliver Wood,
Aberforth.
Is Aberforth like for sure a Gryffindor?
Don't know that, but I can find out.
Yeah. Which takes us back to your Flash comment when we started this episode.
Okay, and this is actually not because of the movie, it's because of the other versions of Flashpoint that have been released. I think Barry Allen might be a Slytherin. He's a very good Slytherin, but he is self-centered and he is selfish. and ambitious as well. Like, not Wally West, but Barry Allen specifically. Like, him going back to save his mom at the cost of all of reality so much later than the fact feels like a pretty Slytherin move.
That sounds very familiar. Wink, wink, cursed child.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. And, you know, Draco had learned that lesson. He didn't go back.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was like, Draco
Albus
didn't go back.
So I'm not saying that all Slytherins are like that, but I think for sure. You know, another point that I'd like to make is that when you try to sort other universe characters, I don't find myself sorting characters into Gryffindor very often. It's a house that is unique in that we know so many characters from that house in the Harry Potter universe, but outside of the Harry Potter universe, I don't feel like I could place. Like, Tony Stark's a Slytherin. And, like, I don't know if Captain America is a Gryffindor.
I was about to ask about Captain America.
Well, I would say he'd be a Hufflepuff.
I think he would too.
In terms of loyalty,
like, take the Avengers. Which one of those is a Gryffindor? Maybe Hawkeye.
That's what I was saying. I was going
to say Clint is probably a Gryffindor. Thor also is probably a Gryffindor. That's it.
Where would you put Peter Parker?
That's tough.
Gryffindor. I'd put him in Gryffindor, I think.
I probably would. You're asking literally someone that's read so much Spider-Man.
That's why
we've also
like Daredevil I would put in Gryffindor, but I'm not sure about Spider-Man. I think there's a lot of arguments because he's such a Ravenclaw and like he's so clever. I mean, like
so Hermione Granger.
He just wits his way out of all of situations. So yeah, I think who takes responsibility though is his big mantra. That's not a defining Gryffindor / any house trait, but
yeah. Well, maybe we should. Spencer might not want to do this, but maybe we bring back the Sorting Hat chats and really tackle these
for other universes.
Yeah, for other universes. I think that'd be a cool episode.
The Harry Potter multiverse.
Short. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
That'd be fun. Anyways. Listeners, write in your thoughts because I don't know what to do about that. I'm gonna have to message the network about this.
Oh yeah, that'd be a fun thing to get.
What house is Peter Parker in? Because I think he could be argued to be almost all of them, except Slytherin.
Yeah, that's right. Well, anyway, moving on. So just real quick, talking about our common room. It was located in Gryffindor Tower. It's a circular room where Gryffindor students could relax after a long day of studying. It was full of squashy armchairs, tables, a bulletin board where there's school notices, ads, lost posters, and the common room was decorated in several different shades of red, which is obviously associated with the house. And the common room was comfortable, but this is the detail that I will put in. While it was comfortable, it was not more comfortable than the Hufflepuff common room. The Hufflepuff common room is famously known as the most comfortable in all of Hogwarts. Points. Here we go. And so
it is not confirmed what house Aberforth was in.
Ooh.
But it is assumed by family alone that he probably was in Gryffindor. And I think that makes sense to me.
I could see that.
I can't see Grumpy Aberforth being in any other house.
Yeah, I couldn't see him. I think the only one that I would probably make not even a strong argument for, but would be Ravenclaw.
The Ravenclaw is the hardest one. You know, I never can find someone to put in Ravenclaw though.
Yeah, it's hard. But just some kind of fun little tidbit facts about Gryffindor is that Gryffindors were actually very good at transfiguration. So you look at Dumbledore and McGonagall, And even if you're looking at those who became animagus, you have James Potter, Sirius Black.
Abby has something to say.
Oh, yes.
I was going to give you points if you mentioned the fat lady, because I think she's a fun portrait sitting at the front of your common room entrance.
Oh.
Although not nice that they call her the fat lady, but...
No.
Well, and this might be my hot take, and this could lose me points. I'm not a huge fan of the fat lady.
Well, she's not really the greatest character. She's kind of,
I'm just,
but I think she's hilarious.
It's kind of hit me as of late, and I'm not trying to be woke if there's people out there that are... I'm not trying to get all political on this, but sorry, Clifford's wanting to make an appearance on the podcast.
Oh, please.
But it is a little rudimentary that She Who Must Not Be Named calls the fat lady fat.
Yeah.
Get on the couch.
I'm not a... I never was a huge fan of the fat lady.
I think part of it, I also love Dawn French, who plays the fat lady in the movies.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which fat lady?
The Prisoner of Azkaban fat lady.
The best. The fat lady.
She's
the one that sings.
If you guys have never seen The Vicar of Dibley, you need to go find YouTube videos.
I've never seen it.
Oh my god, I should have known, good. Abby.
I prefer Sir McDuggan.
The YouTube listeners are getting a nice
yes.
I can tell he was probably crying in the hallway, and Isabel just cracked open the door.
Yeah, just like get in there.
Took his collar off so he wouldn't make any noise.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, buddy. Sorry, David. Please continue.
You're perfectly fine. Just a couple of like I said, Gryffindors were very good at Transfiguration. You have Dumbledore, you have McGonagall, you have James, whose wand was good for Transfiguration. Sirius Black, Peter Pettigrew, and Hermione Granger. She was known to be really good at the start at that. Obviously, some fun facts. I thought that this was actually pretty cool. So obviously, Bonnie Wright was sorted into this, but Ivana Lynch and Tom Felton were both sorted into Gryffindor on Pottermore. However, we do know that it is a faulty sorting.
What'sInWorld.com.
Faulty. Yeah. It is faulty. So it's not always accurate. And I think Tom Felton did a video to where he showed that he got into Gryffindor and basically was just like, I don't care. I'm still Slytherin. And
David, I gotta know. I was trying to save this till next week.
Yeah.
Did you take the test on Hogwarts Legacy and did it put you in Gryffindor?
So, okay. So
I learned that I didn't know that was a part of the game. I thought you just chose the house and moved on.
You can take the test.
You take a test, and then at the end of the test, you can override it if you so desire.
It's not really a test. It's one question.
It's just one?
It's one
Is it
question.
easy to answer according to the house that you want to be placed in?
So here's the thing. It's the strangest thing. So there's not even 4 answers you can choose from. It's just 2. At least on mine, it was just 2. 2 choices that you could decide what it was. When I took it, when I answered the question the first time, it sorted me directly into Gryffindor. But I did connect my Wizarding World account to the game. And so it took all of my information. So what my wand was, what my Patronus was, what my house was, and imported it into the character itself. Now, Chris, when Chris played the game, he didn't do any of that, and it sorted him into his actual house. So I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know if the experience is different for other people. I just know that whenever I answered the question, it sorted me into Gryffindor the very first time. But that's because I connected my account, I think.
I didn't think that it would connect with the Wizarding World app since, I don't know, I just didn't feel like, I knew it was related.
You told us.
And they have some copyrights, but I didn't remember that. No, I didn't remember.
Oh.
Yeah, when
I think I
you
missed
told us
it.
that like the first day.
Yeah, I
was
texted
also
you guys on that
maybe
Monday.
you just sent us the image, and I was
Mhm.
actually like,
yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, listeners. I'm sorry for the rabbit trail.
It's okay.
I was just like, you started mentioning tests, and I was like, I gotta
Sorry.
know what happened.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah. So here we go. Here's some of our house achievements. I didn't put a lot on there. I just put 3 things that I thought was the most noteworthy. But
defeated the Dark Lord Voldemort.
Yeah, Harry Potter, the boy who lived, defeated the Dark Lord of the Sith. I'm just kidding, not the Sith. Lord Voldemort, he who must not be named, even though I just named him, and I apologize for that. But that is one of the achievements of Gryffindor's. He also won the Triwizard Tournament along with Cedric Diggory. Obviously, our RIP to Robert Pattinson. Miss you, bro. Miss you a lot.
Now he's Batman.
Now he's Batman. So
he's a great Batman.
He's a great Batman.
He's really great. Love that
Batman for life.
Yeah. And so another thing that we do know that kind of goes along with Harry Potter defeating the Dark Lord is that at least 22 out of the 31 or more members of Dumbledore's army were Gryffindors. So there was a lot of people on
large
there.
Majority.
Yeah, it was huge.
Easier to recruit within your own house.
Obviously, yes. Yeah.
Definitely important to say.
Yeah. Huge group. But obviously, there was a lot of Hufflepuff names on there too, that they're nothing to sneeze at either. So,
except for Zachariah Smith.
Yeah, we don't like that guy. In terms of,
I was thinking because of sneezing, and
I saw where it came from. It just made me laugh.
He deserves it though.
He does. Now, what I thought was interesting in terms of researching this, I was looking to see how far back they go in terms of looking back at house cups and Quidditch cups and things of that nature. They don't really go that far back. They only go really around where Hogwarts Mystery goes, and then
that's it.
because where that ends is kind of where the Harry Potter story kind of starts with Harry and stuff. So there's not a lot of details in there. I'm interested to see how that actually plays out. And honestly, I'll speak for myself when I say that I would love a job to create that history of determining, of looking, being a historian within the wizarding world and looking and writing stories on Hogwarts life and Hogwarts history kind of things.
Like a wizarding world historian.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I would say though, it's safe to say that Gryffindor won at least one of those like years leading up to when Harry went to Hogwarts because of Charlie Weasley. They said the last time they won the cup was when Charlie was Seeker.
Yeah.
So one of those years. And then it's probably safe to say that Gryffindor won at some point during the Marauders years because of James.
Yeah, I agree.
So Quidditch player.
What it says here is that they have won 4 Quidditch and House Cups. There's 4 in its entire history. Obviously, when we get to the Slytherin episode, we're going to see how Slytherin had a streak of years
dominating,
of where they just won and won and won.
How?
I don't know.
We're going to get into it.
Yeah. Eventually we'll touch on it. But those are just some of the really cool house achievements of it. I mean, obviously I've talked about Neville and what he's done and his success. And even looking at his story of after the Battle of Hogwarts, he became an Auror for a little while until he decided to retire and become the herbology professor at Hogwarts.
Did he become the head of house as well?
Yep, he did. Yeah, he did. So that's notable as well. But now we're going to talk about, some of the things that Gryffindor is infamously known for, or just kind of the things that people do talk about, people do discuss, if not the shining moments of Gryffindor. So obviously we also have our share of bad wizards. When Hagrid said that every single dark wizard came from Slytherin, that wasn't right, which you can chalk it up to Hagrid shielding Harry from saying, well, hey, your dad's best friend killed 13 people, and even later on of Peter Pettigrew, becoming evil. But so obviously Peter Pettigrew
killed 13 people.
Killed 13 people. But you also
technically his best friend did kill 13 people. It was just Peter Pettigrew, not Sirius Black.
So right.
That's one point.
So Peter Pettigrew is one of those people who really dishonored the Gryffindor name in betraying Lily and James and the Order of the Phoenix and everybody, the Marauders as a whole. He does. I won't say that, and we've talked about this before on the podcast, where he doesn't necessarily redeem himself 100%, but in his final moments of his life, has that sliver of goodness in him to, even in his thoughts, betray Voldemort, and it cost him his life. And so you can look at that and say that that's something. But another name that you have is Patricia Rakepick from Hogwarts Mystery, who was a Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher or professor at the school, was the head curse breaker at Gringotts, but was also part of R, which is not great. She does kill Katana in the game. Super sad. Abby, I don't know if I just ruined it for you. I don't know if
I honestly don't remember where I am anymore.
but we know that
Hogwarts
happens.
Mystery all the time. Every time I log in.
Yeah. But those are the two names that we definitely know for sure. They do have a history of controversial success and favoritism within the wizarding world, and you guys can kind of talk about this more. It's within the books, but it's also even outside of the books, especially if you look at how the other houses are portrayed in the books by She Who Must Not Be Named. And so if we look in the books, in the context of it, Harry Potter being allowed first to compete on Gryffindor's Quidditch team in his first year. I don't know, a very good example of favoritism. But then also, first years aren't even allowed to own their own brooms either. So for him to get a Nimbus 2000 is even more of a sign of favoritism. And then
we also talk about the amount of times that Harry used magic outside of school and never got expelled.
We could. We could.
Definitely troublemakers was I was going to say.
Okay. So question. If a student uses Lumos outside of school, does that count? Or does it have to be something more egregious? Can they get in trouble for that, or can they not?
I think technically speaking they should, but the movies just kind of toss that
Maybe
aside.
it's more of an infraction, but not
I can't think of a time in the books where he actually does it.
Yeah.
Outside of school. But in the movies he does it all the time.
Yeah. All I know is as a fifth year, I used Lumos and did all these kinds of spells outside of school. Wasn't a Hogwarts yet.
Yeah.
So very inconsistent there. When we do our inconsistency episode, that's going to be my one tidbit note.
You guys are going to hate me so much when we actually do that episode. I haven't added to it in a while, but I know it's a bunch of just trivialities. It's mostly just trivialities.
Yeah. Yeah. But even then, you look at more signs of favoritism and of controversial success. You look at Harry's first year at the end of the year feast when they were awarded last minute points. Even though
like
they
160 points.
They broke a bunch of school rules in the process. But were awarded 60 points, 50 points. Neville got 10, which was fantastic. But if I'm another, I get it. Probably Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw, they were just happy that Slytherin didn't win. But
Slytherin got robbed.
But if I was in Slytherin, I would have been like, what what just happened?
Because they didn't do anything wrong
necessarily. Yeah,
they didn't. I mean, Malfoy got in trouble.
But again, that didn't affect him to like lose the House Cup or anything like that.
They weren't even the bad guys in that one. It was somebody from Ravenclaw and Voldemort again.
Right. Yeah. And so to me, that's one of the biggest kind of egregious moments for Gryffindor, to where if someone came to me and said, you robbed somebody, like, this is not right, I would have been like, fair point. You're absolutely correct. This definitely happened. And some would consider, again, this is not us thinking this, but other houses did view this as like looking at Gryffindor and be like, really? Seriously? Come on. It's when Harry was named the 4th competitor of the Triwizard Tournament. You could look at being in one of those houses and be like, wow, Harry's going to be in this kind of thing again, and he's going to take away all the attention and all the credit away from Cedric. And that's when you had people kind of rally in support of Cedric, because Harry was in it again. Now, you could say that it's more about Harry Potter than it is about Gryffindor. And I can 100% agree with you.
And being on the outside,
didn't even support him at the beginning.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and even on the outside, recognizing that whatever happened, it's not necessarily show of favoritism. Harry literally could not back out of the tournament.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't
the legally binding contract.
Mm-hmm.
The rules are absolute. He is the 4th Triwizard Champion. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
I can't remember the actor's name, but
yeah.
Couldn't understand anything he said when I was a kid.
Yeah. But we do know that She Who Must Not Be Named definitely gave really good portrayals for Gryffindors, far more than all the other houses. For sure. And I know that in some part it had to be because, Harry's in Gryffindor. That's where we're going to see most of the story, this and this and that. But I think to the extent to where she raised up Gryffindor to such a way and almost seemed to belittle other houses, even as me as a Gryffindor, it bothers me a little bit. Just because, obviously I have 2 fabulous co-hosts who are Hufflepuffs. Amazing.
Well, really just Ravenclaw, honestly.
Ravenclaw
peeves me more than anything, because so many people are sorted in Hufflepuff that we've created our own like pride, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't step anywhere on the internet and Harry Potter fandom and not bump them into a Hufflepuff.
Right.
It's become a very popular house just because so many people sorted into it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Newt Scamander and Fantastic Beasts, notwithstanding.
Mm-hmm.
But Ravenclaw just really has got not a bad rap, just no rap.
No rap, yeah.
Slytherin's got a bad rap.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But they also have their own. They also have their own pride as well. To where this is, no, we're more than just the dark arts minor leagues that gets sent
really
out and do all this.
Don't hear much about Ravenclaw.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really. I know these 2 episodes are fun, and we're kind of laying the groundwork for hopefully guests that we're going to bring on to do those other 2 houses. But I'm really excited to see what those turn out to be.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's going to do it for Gryffindor in this Hogwarts House Cup. I don't even know what we're calling it.
Great job.
Well, I should probably give some last minute points.
We didn't award points for the sections that he did. There were like 3 sections he went through. We didn't award anything.
Well, he just did great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to be in a true Gryffindor style. I'm going to be Dumbledore and give him 150 points.
I'm so glad you said 150 because that's what I was thinking. Cool.
Right at the end.
Yay. Yep. Thanks.
Or maybe I should wait till after we announce the winner of the cup this season. I have some last minute points.
My points to hand out. Yeah. Yeah. But what's next on the pod, Spence?
Hogwarts Legacy initial thoughts, and we're gonna do a special subtopic in that episode because we haven't all had a Hogwarts Legacy initial thoughts. So Hogwarts Legacy initial thoughts, second section: should they reboot Harry Potter? I don't know why I said reboot like that. Should they reboot? Should they reboot Harry Potter?
That's going to be such a fun conversation. I don't even know where to begin. I don't know where I'm landing on that. I really don't. I don't know.
When we say reboot, are we talking about like they're going back and redoing
movies?
Like the movies that have already come out?
Yes, or it doesn't matter.
Format.
Yeah.
Name your format. We're going to talk about a few different ideas, I think.
All right.
Sweet.
I think we're going to kind of explore everything that people have had ideas for, like whether it be like a TV series or an anime or an animated or a 3D animated. There's so many things they could do.
Yeah.
My answer is no. But we'll see
talk about it.
We'll see where this conversation takes us.
That's going to be great. But thank you everyone for listening to this episode or watching this episode as well. If you have any thoughts about Gryffindor and what your favorite parts of it are, if you're a Gryffindor, make sure to comment on the YouTube video below, or you can email us at showofrequirement@gmail.com, or you can comment on our Instagram page, which is hpotter_fanatics, and reach us wherever. Talk about even if you've played Hogwarts Legacy, reach out to us. We'd love to hear about your initial thoughts as well, and also give your thoughts about
or if you're my
Harry
parents
Potter.
You'll text me or give me a phone call.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Eventually,
happy birthday, Jennifer.
It would be so fun if we could add a call-in aspect to the show.
My dad has started listening too.
It would have to be. We'd have to be going. We have to do a live show. Is what it
I have to say though. Live. I love call-in podcasts. I don't know how technology works, but I think they're super fun. I don't know how they do it. So fun.
Yeah. Absolutely. But for Spencer and Abby, this is David on the Show of Requirement, a Harry Potter podcast. And until next time, mischief managed. Or Weasley is our king.